It was a place no human had ever stood before, 29,029 feet above sea level. The very ceiling of our world, where the air is so thin it becomes a battle just to breathe. And on this day, May 29, 1953, two men conquered the impossible. They stood where only the wind and the stars had dared, and in doing so, rewrote the limits of human endurance. This is the story of Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa of Nepal, a beekeeper and a mountain guide. Two men from opposite corners of the earth united by one impossible dream to summit Mount Everest. Edmund Hillary wasn't born a legend. He was lanky, shy, bookish. He read about Everest long before he ever climbed a hill. In New Zealand, he trained himself by carrying massive loads on alpine hikes. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the Himalayas, Tenzing Norgay grew up as part of the mountain. The son of a yak herder, Tenzing had tried and failed 6 Everest expeditions before this one. Yet he remained undeterred. To him, the mountain wasn't an enemy. It was sacred. In 1953, Britain mounted its latest attempt to reach the summit. There was national pride on the line, a final frontier for the former empire to conquer. They assembled a team of the best climbers and Sherpas, and the final push would rest on the unlikely duo of Hillary and Norgay. On May 28, they made camp at 27,900 feet. Sleep was a fantasy. Their oxygen was low. Their tent nearly blew off the mountain in the night. But at 6:30 a.m. on May 29th, they began the final assault. The ice was unforgiving. Every step forward came with the risk of death. There were crevasses wide enough to swallow a manhole and snow ridges sharp as knives. Then came the final obstacle, a 40-foot vertical rock face now called the Hillary Step. Hillary carved his way up with sheer force and frozen fingers and pulled Tenzing up behind him. At 11:30 a.m., they reached the top of the world. Hillary would later say, "I didn't think of anything heroic. I just thought, well, we've knocked the bastard off." Tenzing planted the flags of Britain, Nepal, India, and the UN. They embraced, but they didn't linger. The summit could not be owned, only borrowed. News of the ascent reached London on the morning of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation. The timing couldn't have been more symbolic. Britain had its hero. The Commonwealth had its glory. Tenzing became a symbol of pride in Nepal and India. Hillary was knighted by the Queen. But neither man ever claimed the summit as his alone. They always said they reached it together. Today, thousands have followed in their footsteps. But the first footsteps? They weren't just climbing a mountain. They were climbing into legend. Because on May 29, 1953, mankind didn't just conquer Everest. We proved that even the sky has limits meant to be broken. Like, share, and subscribe to join us for more unforgettable days in history. Every day has a story, and we bring them back to life.